you're 13 years old and you're wondering if I'd rather be a zebra or an elephant. That's a tough question. I'm not too sure. I think an elephant, because elephants get to go and play in the water a lot, and I love going into the water, be it a pool or the sea, so I think maybe I would be an elephant, just so that I can play with the water and spray it all on top of me and and go for a swim when I'm hot. Now I'm trying to look very carefully into this general area just to see if perhaps there was a leopard walking in this direction. No tracks on the road. Seems like everyone's proven to be slightly elusive today. Interesting, very interesting. Maybe perhaps all the leopards are really on Chitwa, as Hallie was saying. I think he was being a bit optimistic about it. But having said that, we did have that sighting with Taylor a few weeks ago where we had pretty much 5 leopards all together in the space of maybe a square kilometer or so. So you never know. Things can always turn into very unexpected ways. Now, I think the squirrel might have been going a bit crazy all by itself, because there isn't anything here that would suggest that there's a leopard. No tracks, no impalas alarming, and no more squirrel calling. We're going to carry on driving onto Treehouse Dam, see if perhaps we see anything else over there that we can pick up on a pun. But while I do that, let's go to Taylor, who's managed to fight all the gremlins.
It was bizarre gremlins that we had as well, Ali. I don't know why they were attacking us, but we rebooted and we're back in business. Now we're going to the old den, or the one that we think is active now. We're not far from there. Just up ahead, we're on Shortcut Gallagher, and I'm hoping that we are going to find some hyenas just laying out, or even just some really fresh tracks going on top of my tracks, so I can confirm and say, yeah, they're definitely going in there. Because at the moment I'm just guessing. It definitely looks like something is moving around. The ground's slightly hard and we aren't really able to make out, I almost went past it, aren't really able to make out what it is. Let's just check here. The hyena tracks going back in. It's difficult to see. But we'll just have to go and check all the way over. I'm so chuffed with that little bird party that we had. I think I'm going to look for more of them. I might actually head back towards Impala Plains. In fact, it seems as though the birds are hanging around that area once we've done a little check around here and see what other little birds we can pull out of our sleeve. Maybe I'll find something that I haven't seen before, which could be quite possible. So it's amazing, this den though, how big it actually is and how many entrances and exits there are. Just going very slowly. I'm going to need to chop this though. This needs to go. That's in the way. I'm just going to pull off to the side here. Yeah, there's lots of hyena tracks here. Look down on the ground. There's so many. I think they are using the site. So this is what I was talking about. There's this little patch of sand. And it definitely looks like they've been moving around there. You can see a couple of footprints. But no one seems to be home right now. Or there could be little ones. They could just be inside some of these burrows. Now there is another burrow on the other side. I'm going to do a big loop around here just to check all the areas. But I'm going to send you back across to Ellie while I create a large loop around this mound, and she's managed to find her elephant again.
We have found an elephant. A whole herd of them. This beautiful female was just walking towards the road a bit too decisively against us, and I'm wondering why. She does seem to be pregnant, so perhaps she's just feeling a bit full. No, I think maybe that bull was actually coming away from the herd that we saw and not towards that half-trunked herd. But there are quite a few members all around, and they're all coming down to the road, and we are surrounded by lots of them. Little ones, bigger ones, tiny ones. So it seems like Treehouse Dam has been a good spot to come and check, as all the Ellies are here. So I'm so happy that we saw them after seeing all their tracks this morning, and that the fact that we're not going crazy and the elephants are all around us. But it seems like these three that are going here are on a bit of a mission, so I wonder what it is that's got them a bit upset. This is their version of takeaway food. Yuri, you're wondering how do elephants tolerate the cold? Well, they've got a very thick skin. It's normally about 3 centimeters thick, so that protects them towards the cold. But also, if they're very, very cold, you'll see that their ears will be very tightly close to their body, and that way they won't dissipate any heat, and they will keep it in them. I think there are a few more walking, so I'm just gonna move backwards. See if maybe we manage to have a bit of a better view, because there are lots of ellies here. Wonderful. You're saying you love ellie walks. Oh, I think I do too. This is wonderful. Now, I've kind of gotten myself into a tight spot over here. Let me just turn around here where we can have. Hello. Beautiful elephants all around us. Hello guys, good to see you. I've been looking at your tracks the whole morning. It's very nice to see that I haven't been imagining you. Now it seems like we're all off and breakfast time. The different young ones are feeding, tiny little ones are nursing from their mothers, and they've just carried on moving. So I wonder if perhaps they're not gonna make their way slowly but surely onto twin dams. Some of their trunks are quite like this one that's walking around. You can see that she's got a slightly darker bottom part of the trunk than the top. So I think maybe they have actually come from Trias Dam when they were there earlier on drinking. Look at these two troublemakers running around. Beautiful. Interesting. Are you going to come for us, little one? Yeah, you're a brave Ellie. Teresa from New York, you're wondering if elephants sleep lying down or standing up. Sorry, this little one's just being too funny. They can do it both ways. Yeah, very brave hiding in between mama's legs now, are we? The little ones will often sleep lying down, and the adults will be in a circle around them. But the adults also, they can sleep laying down, which they don't do too often, but you can almost see them dozing off sometimes when they're standing up. This is so cute. Aren't you brave? Yeah, it came running all the way to us, and then just as soon as it got real and it realized that it had run way too close to us, and it decided to go in between its mother's legs and just seek for protection over there. So sweet. Seems like these elephants are on a mission. There's probably something that's calling. I wouldn't be able to know what, but they are steadily moving towards their southern boundary. I think if they carry on in the direction where this female is going, they'll get to twin dams in the next little while or so. Let me move. Sammy, James, you're wondering if elephants can have twins. It's been recorded, yes, and I was super lucky once to see it, but it's very rare for elephants to have twins. I mean, I think only 1% of all the calves of elephants are twins. So it's very, very rare, and they can survive, or they are known to survive if the conditions are good. But I would say it's very hard for the mother to be able to suckle two tiny elephants, and elephants will not allow suckle, so the little one will just have to go to their mothers to be able to survive the next or the first few months of their life. So it is very rare. It does happen every now and again. And I know this is so funny, but I was looking at those little two earlier on, and I held my breath, and I was like, oh, I wonder if these two are twins, because they look roughly about the same size. But a good way of then knowing if they are twins, or if you're just thinking that they might be, depends on what female they run to for suckle. So if the two calves run to the same mother and they suckle from the same mother at the same time, it could be a good indication that that particular female is the mother of the two of them, because like we said, allosuckling doesn't normally happen with the elephants. But in this case, the one came charging, darting out of the bushes to scare us off, and then the one went to its mother, and then the other one went to the other one. So unfortunately, no twins today. But it would be something quite special to see, wouldn't it? Beautiful. Nice to see such a big herd of elephants. We've been missing you. We've been wishing you back. And I think maybe all around us, hiding in between the bushes, there's maybe about 30 odd of them. Oh. I love spending time with elephants. They're such interesting creatures to watch. Michael, you're wondering how much milk an elephant calf drinks a day. Well, until they're about 3 months old, I would imagine that they drink, I want to say, about 30 liters of milk a day at least. I could be wrong. It could be a little bit more than that. But just when they become 3 months old, then they will also start eating grass and trees and branches and everything else. So I will have to double check and let you know for sure. But I think it's a good indication when little ones are born, they are about 100 kilograms already. And all the little creatures, they tend to eat about either 5 to 10% of their body weight on a daily basis just to be able to survive. So that's the count that I'm going into. So I assume as they start getting older, they will drink anything from maybe 10, 15 to 30 liters of milk in a day. Oh, crossing the road up ahead. Natural sweet tooth, you're wondering if pregnant elephants have a smell. I would imagine they do, but it's not something that we can pick up. Perhaps it's more pheromones that they put out that allows all of the other herd members to know that they are pregnant. But it's not something that we can pick up upon, like for example, like what we do when an elephant is in must, because it's a very pungent smell when the males go into must. Not quite the same when they are pregnant. Right. Seems like there are a few more crossing up ahead of us, so I'm going to try to go there and see if perhaps we can have a look at them, as it's getting a bit thick around this area. Well, I think we need to thank the squirrel. The squirrel was the one that pointed us in this direction, so good. Thanks, little squirrel. We have found some beautiful elephants this morning. I think maybe some more of them crossing the road in front of us. These Nephi, you're wondering how old the calves are when they are weaned from their mother's milk. Well, they are about 2 years of age or so, but they'll carry on somewhat suckling until they're about 4 sometimes when the next calf arrives. So they have to have mother's milk for 2 years to be able to survive, and then from 2 to 4, I think it becomes more of a nutrient supplement type of comfort nursing. And as soon as the next little one comes around, the one that is 4 years old or so, they will stop drinking milk and just go into full solids. But like I was saying earlier, when they're about 3 months old or so, they already start slowly getting into solids. Because you can imagine it's quite hard for a female elephant to produce enough food to sustain the weight of a little one. Teresa, the baby's nurse, you're wondering if the babies nurse by only using their trunk. No, they nurse by using their mouths. So they don't use their trunks for nursing at all. They just come into you. So the mammary glands for the females are between her front legs. So she will often move her legs slightly forward, and then that'll allow the little ones to attach themselves. And they just do it with their mouths. Right, seems like Taylor has managed to find a very small creature out in the bush, so let's go over to her and see how the little squirrel's doing.
We've got little squirrels. We had 2 of them, but we think one has darted off across the road. Now they're very cold, as were the monkeys that you saw this morning. They were freezing cold too. And these little guys are just trying to warm themselves up in the sun at the moment. They're not really doing much foraging just yet. But I'm hoping that they come back around this side, because it always just amazes me as to how nimble these animals are when it comes to scouring up the trunk of a tree. And there's not really much to hold on. But no, gone back now. Oh, there it's coming out. It's gone down to the knot. There, patience. It's right there, just sitting in the middle of the tree. It's going down. A little bit down. There we go. So look at that. No, come back around this way, please. On the ground. It's not on the ground. I don't want to move the car, but we should see it come about. I think if we just stay here, it doesn't mind our voices so much, but if we definitely start the vehicle, it's going to run away. No, it's back up top again. It just went up and straight into the knot of the tree. Straight, yeah, there we go. There it is, very camouflaged. But now I don't know if it was a male and female that were here. It was difficult to tell, and they were moving so quickly. Lift your tail up. Now, there is only, in my opinion, one way to tell the difference between male and female squirrel. And that is, if it's a boy, you just have to look for the appendages that make it male. They're quite large when it comes to squirrels. Now, why are you sitting over there? Why do you have to be difficult? Oh, there it goes, running. Look how fast it's going. Whee! And that's actually not even the fastest that a squirrel can run. I've seen them move much quicker. But for something so small, it's important that they do move quickly when they're out in the open like that. So that's them gone. Aw, they must be living in here though. There's some nice cavities up in this marula tree though. Oh, there they are. Just up in front on the little bump. Now, Timo, you're wondering what preys on these squirrels? A number of different things. Lots of raptors, so birds of prey will catch squirrels. Snakes will also eat squirrels. Young leopards that have been left on their own might be enticed and chase a squirrel up a tree and try and catch them. That's normally what sort of leopards start to feed on. There's things like terrapins and catfish and squirrel and dwarf mongoose, all the smaller mammals. But there are lots and lots of different things out here that will eat these guys. Be careful. Yeah, you're very brave out on the road. You're lucky that it was so cold and the birds might have not started on their adventure and search for food. But not too certain about us either. You see, I keep stopping and looking back towards us. That I really like to see. It's actually quite high up on my bucket list. I can't imagine one of those little creatures soaring through the sky. I think it would be quite beautiful. Squirrels have gone. I think we're going to go back towards the guarri trees. I want to do some birding, and I think we might get lucky and see some nice ones, so we'll keep going down. Let's see if we can find a little squirrel track. It's difficult because their feet are so small, and when the sand is actually it's actually not too fine, it's quite coarse here, so it's very difficult. It doesn't show a track quite nicely. If you've got fine red dust, I always find you see the track so nicely. Okay, let's keep going, see what birds we're going to see. Any birds that you would like to see today, Sebastian? A batelier. She should have been on Ali's vehicle. She's already had one this morning. Okay, we'll see if we can find a batelier. I haven't seen a batelier since I've been back at work. Oh no, we heard one. We didn't see it though. We did hear one. Sounds like a chicken when it goes caw, caw, in the sky, and it's always quite hilarious when they do call, because as they call, they stick their feet out when they're flying. It's interesting. Like they're pretending, oh, we're gonna land. No, not gonna land. Gonna land? Not gonna land. No predator tracks coming up this way. Just some zebra footprints. Who else are we gonna have? What's going to be our next bird? Let's see. We'll keep checking the tops of the trees. It's a dove. Can you believe that? But our next bird, and it's gone. Typical. It was a turtle dove just sitting there. Please work, car. Please don't break. Be nice. Nikki, you've requested a martial eagle. Okay, we'll try and find one. At one point, it was quite a good area around here to find a martial eagle. There was a juvenile that was flying about and spending quite a bit of time around here, but I haven't seen it for ages. Oh, I have to redo my scarf. I didn't do a very good job the first time. Got to keep my neck nice and warm so I don't get sick. Let's do that. That's what my mom would say. I just heard her voice nagging. Not nagging. Moms don't nag ever. I just heard her saying, you're gonna get sick if you don't keep warm. So let's not get sick, otherwise they'll hear I told you so, as I've taken my gloves off and things as well. Matt, you said which bee eater did you say? Sorry Megan, I didn't hear the specific kind of bee eater. Oh, just a bee eater. Okay, that's nice. Maybe some little bee eaters, they're still around. But it's a bit too early though to see the European or the carmine bee eaters. We'll start to see them towards the end of the year again. But the little bee eaters should be about. Ali might actually have some luck if she's going towards Chitwa Dam. I know there's a couple that like to fly around on that open area. We'll see if we can find one of those. What about a beautiful lilac-breasted roller? They're always really nice to see. Let me set a challenge for myself. I would like to try and find you a brown crown chugra this morning. I think we might have some success. Maybe we can add the cinnamon-breasted bunting to our list too, seeing as though we've already seen the golden-breasted bunting. What else? What about grey-headed bushshrike? Some of the bushshrikes will be nice. I want to go to the Molwati, but I'm too cold, and I don't know how much bird activity it is going to be first thing in the morning because it is still really, really chilly. So we'll go down into the Molwati this afternoon and we'll try for some of the birds that hang around the riverine thickets. Okay, we're going to take a turn down here now. I'm getting to our quarries. Okay, starling. Oh no. Come on, starlings. That's terrible behavior. Did they not know we're doing a birding morning? Oh, ridiculous. There were some Cape glossy starlings. Oh, there they are. I'll show you them now. They're sitting up on the tree. They're quite far away, but we'll see them nonetheless. There they all are, perched up on something that was a knob thorn at one point. It's now dead though. And Alara Mo, you said a very specific request. A franklin in a marula tree. That'll be quite nice. Maybe the franklins will be up in the marula trees because something down on the ground had startled them. So that could be quite nice. But they're the Cape glossy starlings. They don't look like very much at the moment because we don't have the sun in our favour, so they just look almost very dark in colour, and you see a little bit of a sheen there. But that's a good spot up that high. All taking time out as they warm themselves up to also do a bit of preening. Beautiful. Lovely birds. I enjoy the starlings. And something I still haven't seen, and I'm still going to request it, is to see a group of starlings, Cape glossy starlings specifically, having a bath in a puddle of water. That's one of my favourite things to see. They're so chatty and they all fight with each other and splash about. Now, Michael, you're wondering what causes the sheen to their feathers. So it's quite interesting with starlings is that it's iridescence. So, you know, you can often see the different colors that they get. It's not always that beautiful blue, but sometimes you can get bits of purple and things. So it depends on what direction, how the light reflects off of those feathers will determine which color you get. So there's no actual pigment in the feathers. When they stand in the shade, they look completely black. Whereas if you look at, say, Tarocos or rollers and things like that, they've got those beautiful reds and greens or blues and purples in their feathers. They've got that pigmentation, whereas they don't have it at all. So it's called iridescence. But it's quite lovely. I think my favourite, though, has to be the Meaves starlings. So they look like Burchell's starlings, but they've got much longer tails. But the colours that seem to come off of them, sort of more magenta purples and things like that. Oh, and a turtle dove has also joined the party. So they're really, really pretty. But the Cape Glossy starling with that bright orange eye is a contrast when they are sitting in the sun and their feathers are shining that beautiful blue is lovely. But listen to the turtle dove singing its song. You can see it singing its song too. Wonderful. Right. Let's keep looking. Let's see what else we can find. Let's find that Kruger. Trying to think of what other small birds. I'd still like to show you a long-billed crombeck or a grey penduline tit. Some of those smaller little birds too. Okay, we've got some go-away birds. We'll do them. They're also sitting up on a tree warming themselves up. We'll have a quick look at them if they hang around as we get to the next corner. We'll roll in. We'll go quietly. You can hear the lapwings all shouting now. There are two go-away birds just up in front of us. You can hear the crowned lapwings flying overhead. Hello guys. With your crests all peaked up, you must be feeling a little bit frisky now that you've warmed up. They always look so sad and miserable first thing in the morning. They never have their crests up and they're too cold. But now they look a lot happier. And the go-away birds are definitely going to be very happy when all these guarri trees get their fruit, because they are predominantly frugivores. You always see them in the jackalberries, you always see them around the guarri trees. But beautiful birds. This is my mom's favorite bird. She loves them. Yeah, that is nice. Fanning your tail open, making sure that all the feathers are in the right places. That's quite beautiful, isn't it? Oh, look at you putting on a show. It's amazing. You don't really realize how many individual feathers are in birds' tails, and it's also dependent to each bird. Aren't you cute? Okay, next. Let's see. We had a look at them. Let's see what else we can find. So as we stop, we're also listening out to see if we can hear any birds bouncing about here. Now, Sammy J, you're wondering if there are any hummingbirds in the Sabi sand. Oh no, unfortunately they're not, but we do have something that looks relatively similar, and they are sunbirds. And I haven't actually seen this. You know what? I haven't seen a sunbird in ages. They're tiny. Let me get my book out. We'll stop here in the sun, Sammy J. Oh, here's another. Don't run away. Let me just pretend. See, no, I don't think it's going to stay. There's another little squirrel, but I think it knows it's been spotted, so it's disappeared. Okay, let's get my bird book that's about 150 million years old, and there's no cover on it anymore because it's fallen down hills with me. Oh, that was good timing. So here are a whole lot of sunbirds. Look how beautiful they are. So they've got long bills like hummingbirds, and they're petite in size too. You know, they're roughly about a third of your ruler, so about 10 centimeters in length. That's what most of them are. So we see quite a few of them here. We see, let me go to, we see the marico. This one over here. This one we see quite often. Very pretty. And let's see, I might have to turn the page. I just don't know which way I've got to go. One of my favorites is the collared. This one up top here. It's beautiful in yellow with a green on their backs, also shimmering in the sun, which makes it quite pretty. And we get the white-bellied sunbirds too down here. They're quite nice as well with a purple little collar. I suppose the collared sunbirds have that purple collar too, but a different type of green, and then a white belly, which of course is where they get their names from. And if I'm not mistaken, Brent told me that he's seen, I think he said I don't know which sunbird he said, which was really amazing. I just want to turn the next page. Just want to quickly see who we've got next. Sparrows. No, we don't want sparrows. We don't, not that we don't want. This is also a great one. The scarlet-chested sunbird. Really, really gorgeous. And the amethyst sunbird just to the right as well. We get them. And then I'm going to play a call for you, because another one that we don't see up here, but I used to see down in the Eastern Cape, is the grey sunbird. It's quite pretty. Well, in terms, actually, and you're probably going to laugh at me, but I like the ones that don't necessarily have the greatest colours, but it's got a very pretty call. So I'm going to put my book down, and I'm going to exchange it for my mobile device. Very quickly, I want to, of course, just put the volume up. I want to play you the call. Let me go into my app very quickly. Right, S for sunbird. I want to play the grey sunbird call, and I forgot, because the reason why is that actually the other day I was thinking about it, and I'd made up my own rhyme how to remember that bird when it calls, but now I've forgotten. So I need to hear it. Sunbirds, where's the grey one? Where are you? There you are. That's here. This is not the call I'm looking for. They don't call like this in the Eastern Cape. There's maybe a next variety will come through. I got the right one. I don't know if I clicked the right one. Let me try that again. Yes, here it is. I was playing the wrong call for you. Now, birds have got different accents wherever you go, and they don't seem to be playing the call the way. Yeah, that's about it. Yes, there we go. That last bit is how they call in the Eastern Cape, but I can't remember my rhyme. I think I've written it down somewhere. So we'll have to have a look at my notebook and see what I used to say and how I remembered that call, because it's a common call down on the coast and in the forests and things like that. You hear it all the time. But, Megan, is Ali still searching for her leopards? She's still searching for them. Quite exciting. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send you back across to Ali, who's on her way to some spotted cat. I don't know who it is and if she's there yet, but I'll let her do the talking.
Yeah. Honestly. Alright, sorry guys, it seems like we have finally managed to make our way around towards where Tingana is. Now, he's in a bit of a tricky spot, so I thought maybe we were going to have a visual from here, but we didn't, so I'm just quickly going to try and go around, see if perhaps we get lucky with another view. Now, it seems like it's been quite a very interesting morning around Chitwa, because indeed they had a lot of leopards around here. So Tingana is here, Tandi was here, and there was another female leopard also spotted around this area. So it seems like Tandi is busy chasing that other female away, and apparently she's been calling and salivating quite a bit, but she has been lost going into the western side of the property, and Tingana should be somewhere. So just doing a bit of bundu bashing, trying to see him, because it seems like he is in quite of a thick spot. So just stick around with us for a few moments and we will get down there. I think good old Wendy has done a good job in keeping us alive in all these thickets. Very interesting. I think they didn't have an idea on who that leopard, that other female was. Perhaps it's that mystery one. Now, this is where the guys were, so I wonder where you are, leopard. Right, and the plot thickens because I am looking at a dead warthog. So it's got a kill. And I think maybe there was a bit of stealing. Did you steal it from Tandi, you little thief? Whew. Alright, so the kill is pretty much next to us, but I cannot see Tingana around here. Can you see him? Okay, perfect. As long as you can see him behind it. My God, I would have never been able to see that. Look at that camouflage. This is incredible. And like we said, I am about maybe 5 meters away from it, and I cannot see it with my own eyes. Only thanks to the camera do I know that there's actually a leopard in there. Oh, okay, I can see you now. I was looking in the wrong direction. This is incredible. Wow, I think it was definitely worth our way here. It seems like someone's developing a preference for bacon, perhaps. Well done, Tingana. Now, like I said, I'm not too sure if he made the kill or if he stole it from Thandi. I will radio the guys in a little while and just find out from them what exactly happened around here. Because Shanae had Thandi a little while ago, but she was busy just chasing these other leopard around, and it was very hard to follow her. Alright, sorry, let's find out. Sorry, did Tingana make this bamba or did Thandi make it? I think my radio is not helping me communicate with the rest of the guys, but I'm sure we'll... Alright, so it seems like I've just been saying ugly things about this beautiful leopard. Thank you. And apparently it was Tingana the one that made this kill. And so good for you. I'm sorry that I said that you were a little thief and that you stole it. I have seen you hunt warthog before, so quite impressive. And my goodness, it's amazing to see just where he's hiding, just underneath a few bushes, as such a big creature that we're not able to see. Something that's actually bigger and heavier than me, and he is grooming himself. Perhaps a bit of blood that got caught while he made the kill. And I wonder if perhaps Thandi wasn't attracted to the squeals of the piglet as well as the other female, and then all of a sudden they all had a very strange situation where too many leopards were together. Now, like we said, Thandi and Tamba, they would perhaps have a bit more of a non-violent encounter, but Thandi and that other female, well, it seems like it was quite a stressful one for both of them, because Thandi was not happy to have another intruder in her territory, and it seems like she's changed her off. And she was carrying on following her as at... Oh, my goodness, there she comes. There's another leopard coming to us. Guys, this is incredible. Right, just as we were saying. Now, if you guys can help us with the ID, I would really appreciate it. I don't know if this is Thandi, as I've never seen her before. Oh my goodness, this is... I am the meat in between a leopard sandwich. This is incredible. I would imagine this is Thandi. Alright, and it seems like the other female that was around here that Thandi was chasing off was Kuchava. Interesting, very interesting turn of events. Wow, this is so exciting, guys. What a morning we've had, and they've been chasing her around the block to come and see, and I wonder if perhaps she's going to come onto Tingana a little bit later, perhaps going to try and steal the kill, although I think she's a bit small for Tingana to try and take on that kill, but Tingana's all of a sudden gone still, so I wonder if he knows that there's another female here. Oh my goodness. ID her using the hashtag Safari Live so that we can start piecing or putting together the puzzle, the leopard puzzle that we've got around here. So exciting. I was not expecting this female to return. James, you say it's Thandi. Well, thank you very much for helping me. I have never seen her. I've only seen Tamba once, and now, yay, finally seen Thandi with my own eyes. I had a feeling it was her because she looks a bit of like an older female compared to what the updates that I was getting on the radio. It sounded like the other one was a lot younger. So, good to know that she's here, and I think maybe she's made a statement as in like, this is my area. And Tingana's pretty much fallen asleep, so I wonder if perhaps she's sticking around waiting for the kill. There have been rumors, as we were discussing earlier on, of apparently Thandi starting to go back into heat and mating with Tingana. So I wonder if this is what we're looking at, or just the early stages of maybe her going back into getting ready to have her next litter. Like we said, we're all just speculating because nobody has seen them mate for the time being, but interesting because they did have tracks for a female and a male leopard walking around Chitwa not too long ago, and we all assumed that it was Thandi and Tamba because Tamba's feet are quite big. But very interesting. Well, we definitely did not expect to see all these things around today. I want to see what these two leopards are gonna get up to now. Seems like maybe they've had quite a stressful morning, judging by the looks of it. Maybe not Tingana, as he's quite happy, but I'm sure he had to walk quite a bit to be able to get that young warthog. But Tandi chasing Kuchava up and down and moving around, I'm sure it's been a bit harder for her. And she's just gone back, and I think she must have covered quite a lot of ground very quickly, because we are at a certain distance from the dam and the airstrip, and apparently she was just last seen going west, chasing this other female and running behind her, and then all of a sudden she's come back all the way here. Sorry, going east, and then she came back west. So interesting. I would have never expected to see two leopards together. I don't know what to say. I'm so excited. I think, Tandi, you are pretty much going to sleep over there. And Tingana here. Just 1 second, guys. Standing by. Sorry, Shanae, go again? No one, you can come and join. It's a bit of a tight spot, but I think it will be enough space for two. Sorry, you broke off there. Go again. Shanae Farali. Yeah, if you want, you can make your way. You'll have a visual of either Tandi or Tingana. Alright, so we can just see down there the face of the warthog, that a young warthog, and I wonder if perhaps Tingana played another game of patience, because now we know that he likes standing on top of termite mounds, and he'll wait patiently for either the warthogs to come out, which I imagine is what happened this morning, or for at night for the warthogs to return and come back onto their burrow. So it got another youngster, but we know that this is going to last him at least for a day, so I'm sure he'll be quite happy to have it here. Or perhaps he's going to, who knows, maybe he'll even be decent enough to Tandi and share a bit of his meal, although I really doubt it, because unfortunately male leopards are not known for being true gentlemen when it comes to sharing food. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to come here this afternoon and see what happens. Herb, you're saying Tingana's an hour early. Maybe he is. Well, I think he is, but how wonderful. At least I think maybe this is his way for making up for all those last minutes that he hasn't actually showed up and let us see him. So happy to meet you at last, Tandi. Now, Aqua, you're wondering if Tamba is not a bit too young for Tandi to start mating again. Likely Tamba is. However, Tamba is already a year old, and there are cases in the wild when the mothers will leave them when they're about a year and a half, and they'll pretty much force them into adulthood. That's why I'm saying that we need to be a bit careful with all the speculations that have been going around about Tandi and Tingana spending time together and mating. It could just be that this is a trick to keep her away from Tamba. I've seen leopards do that before. Or maybe, like we said, our leopards in this area are slightly more sociable than what we give them credit for. So until we have solid proof that they are mating, I think let's not make any assumptions. I think it's been quite a strange morning. It could be as well that they just bumped into each other, and Tandi knows that the kill is here. Perhaps she's going to patiently wait to see if she can get some of the scraps. And it could have also been that Kuchava just bumped into the two of them, or they all bumped into each other, and Kuchava being the only direct competition for Tandi, then she would chase her away. So I think in the next few weeks or so we'll be able to determine what's actually happening. James, you're saying you're so happy that I finally got to meet Tandi. Thank you, that's very nice of you. I'm also super happy that I finally got to meet her. She's been her and Tamba have been eluding me, so I'm honored, quite frankly, that the spots have revealed themselves to me, because I think sometimes with leopards that is the case. We don't find them, but then they let us find them. I'm going to sit around here for a while longer, see how this plays out, but while I do that, let's go over to Taylor, who's got a beautiful bird.
We do have a beautiful bird. It was a different one from what we had. That was the Battis again, the chin spot Battis. We had a red-headed weaver, very, very briefly. I was just sitting going, what on earth is that? What bird is that? I couldn't put my finger on it. It was a female red-headed weaver, which was quite nice, but unfortunately it has now flown away. But there's some pipits here. Let's see if we can find one of them. Maybe some larks as well. There's a couple of little birds. Some canaries, but they just don't sit still. Let's see. We'll see if we can find some now. I'm just looking for a tree where someone is moving. They seem to be feeding in the buffalo thorn. Just over there, someone has just landed. Now, Roshni, you're wondering what is my favorite bird? My favorite bird has to be a secretary bird. Sagittarius serpentaris. It's also the only one that I know the Latin name of. Oh, who's just landed in there? Lots of little birds. A fork-tailed drongo out there, so that's my favorite bird. But unfortunately, we don't get to see them very often. Now, this drongo, we've been watching it actually for the last 10 minutes. It's been very, very busy, and it's very unhappy with all the little birds that have been bouncing about, because they are obviously quite territorial, the drongos. So they've been chasing everybody around. They don't seem to be too bothered now by the quelias, but it was chasing the red-headed weaver, it was chasing the chin spot Battis, and it was shouting. It was not having any of it. It didn't want any other birds in its territory. But what I don't understand is that it keeps chasing after them. Even once it has moved off and gone somewhere else, it's still following. Completely vanished. That hornbill dived down into the grass. Obviously it saw it, and it must have seen you, Sebastian. It's gone right, and we're going to dive out of the frame now. I mean, that's a bit drastic. Let's carry on. Let's go up a bit further. There is a bit of a food party moving through, but they seem to be moving that way, so we'll try and sit with them. I saw a little canary at one point. There is so much going on here, but it's so hard to try and get them on camera. What about an eremomola? I haven't seen one of those for a very long time too. Let's see. Who have we got to? Drongo or flycatcher? Drongo? No, actually not. That little black bird over there, I don't know. Can we have a closer look to see if it is a drongo or a flycatcher? It's quite far away. It's just up there. There it is. Who are you? Who are you? Oh, you don't really look... Are you a drongo? Do you have a red eye? No, you don't look like you have a red eye. And I can't see the little bristles coming from the side of the beak, so that must mean that it is a southern black flycatcher. So the drongos have also got a little hook on the tips of their beak, just with what they're feeding on. And this guy's just slightly smaller, not quite as robust. Oh, there's another one. But they look very, very similar. And the other thing is, of course, that the southern black flycatcher lacks the red eye that a fork-tailed drongo does have. Who else have we got here now? I'm scanning. I heard another brew calling at 1.2. Something, have you, any of you ever seen a Sterling's wren warbler? Maybe has Brent showed you one of those before? I'm trying to think. I used to see them lots down south, but I haven't even heard them calling up here. It's quite beautiful. Where are they going? They're all flying again. No, they're flying. Can we have a look? What little bird is just sitting? You see that one there? Seb, I don't know what it is. It's just sitting on the dead tree. We'll have to have a close look. I can just see the silhouette of it. It's quite far away. Who are you? I can't even see it. It looks like a flycatcher. What are you? A flycatcher of some sort? Looks like it. I have to get my phone out and have a look at the little flycatchers. Just the shape of it, the beak. But it is difficult to see. We're exceptionally far away. Let's go to F for flycatcher. Megan, are you still around? And it's gone. Are you still here? Right, let me just quickly check. I just want to have a look at which flycatchers it could have been. What about a chat flycatcher? Do we get them here? No, just out of reach. Definitely look like one. Maybe some of you can help me. Maybe, hey, I'm trying to think, what do you think that was, the one that we had before? I'm desperately trying to look for it. No, I don't know. I don't know. It was one of the flycatchers. Who's here? Who's here? There's something little. Just here. No, I'm a bit rusty on my little LBJs, but we can work with them together. No!
Sorry, I didn't. I was still looking for it.
It's okay. And they're so this thing is so tiny that's flying around here. No, they're not cooperating. And they're right at the, but we're looking straight into the sun though. That's the other thing. We're not really going to see too many colour. Oh, it's hard to say. Are you one of the little testiculars maybe? I don't know what that was. It was so difficult to say. Unfortunately, I'm not a birding expert at being able to identify the silhouette of a bird just yet. One day. Now Heather, you're wondering, what is the friendliest bird that we get here? Friendly birds? I have yet to come across one, but the most obliging, I would have to say, is probably the hornbills. The yellow and the red-billed hornbills seem to at least hang around and stay in the shot for a decent amount of time that you can actually have a good look at them. And the francolins are quite nice too, but most of the birds are not fans of the camera, and it's just like they know that the camera's been put on them and then they look completely the other way. I think we're going to drive the new road and have another look. Here's a magpie shrike. We'll have a quick look at the magpie shrike. This one's not eating a big grasshopper. Well, there's two of them now, and like we saw yesterday. But beautiful birds nonetheless with their lovely long tails. However, we do have leopards with Ali, so I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I'll keep searching for some nice little birds, and I'll send you back across to her with Thandi and Tingana.
We have decided to leave Tingana, or the spot where we were, so just that we could have a closer look at Thandi. And it seems like she's had quite a tough morning chasing Chitwa around, and she almost seems like she wants to go back to sleep. I think it's going to be quite interesting to see how this plays out between her and Tingana for the rest of the day, as I'm sure many of us are wondering. Are you starting to loving eyes, or is it just perhaps a coincidence that the two of you are around here? Or are you wanting to see if perhaps you can have a bit of that kill? As the day goes by, we'll be able to tell what's been happening. I wonder if perhaps they came and they crossed, and she went in from where we last saw him, which was quite far into Djuma, and then they've come back down using the Molowati. That's a perfect drainage system for them to move up and down in between Chitwa and Djuma without ever having to cross a real road, making it a bit.
Right, sorry about that. The gremlins are attacking, as you can see. So we're still looking for some birds. We haven't found any more though. I can hear a lilac-breasted roller that's flying above us. Yeah, what were you? Were you a scimitar or were you a green? No, you're a green woodhoopoo. There's one flying, two flying off into the distance, but too far away for us to see. Right, let's jump back on the new road. Let's go down here and see if anybody has walked over Ali's tire tracks, because I know she was driving down here this morning. Nothing just yet though. This is a great birding area. I'd like to also, they were saying about the pipits, I'd like to see some of the pipits. They love this grassy sort of area. This grass might be a little bit tall. They do prefer impala plains where the animals have sort of grazed and shortened the grass. They like that quite a bit. But this is a great spot for the chugras. There's a black-headed oriole. Where we go? No, come back. It's very difficult. Also just flown away from us. Somewhere in there. No, I think it has just flown off again. Ah, sneaky birds. Have we got it? Leaf. Oh, there it goes. Ah, it's okay. It looked like a black-headed oriole at one point, but it's not a problem. We'll try and find another one. Wait, there's the roller. There it is. I'm going to show you it now. Don't fly away. Don't be one of these other silly birds. Oh, it's perfect. It actually turned to face us. That was quite nice. Just sitting up in a marula that has lost all its leaves. Now, Sammy J wondering how many birds are there in the Sabi sand. Well, I think it also depends if you're in the north or the south, because as soon as you go down south, you find a lot more birds that we don't see up here. But I would say, roughly, there must be about at least 350 odd different birds that we would see in this area, in the entire Sabi sand. It's like up here we don't have the big riverine thickets, so we don't really see the gorgeous bush shrikes or the purple-crested turacos and a couple of others that like to live down there. Like I said, I haven't even heard the Sterling's wren warblers up this end, which surprises me, but we'll see. I'll keep an ear out to see if we can hear them. But this is a very obliging lilac-breasted roller. But I'm not 100% certain as to the exact amount of birds, but I can imagine it'll be around 300 and something odd. There are definitely quite a few species. Maybe even a little bit less than that. Maybe I'm being too generous. But there are plenty around. You can see, look at that bird, how focused it is. Looking around, looking in the sky to see if there are any little insects flying about. And then once it has spotted its target, it'll swoop and do all sorts of amazing acrobatics and then hopefully catch an insect. Or they dive down onto the ground too and will catch insects on the floor. But they're lovely birds. Okay, let's carry on with our road though. Let's go see what else we can find. We see lots and lots of lilac-breasted rollers. Ah, okay. Great. James, thank you for that confirmation. You said that you've got Sterling wren warblers on your list, so we have seen them before. Wonderful. Well, that's good. They're a very pretty little bird. And I must tell you, I completely forgot to mention, it just slipped my mind. I saw two jackals earlier, two side-striped jackals while we were on Impala Plains, and we were desperately trying to get a view. They were so skittish though, and we even went around a couple of times and did a few loops to see if we could get another view of them. But alas, we weren't successful, which was a bit sad. But at least we know that there's a pair running around on Impala Plains, so maybe we can go and try again this afternoon and see if we can find them. Also living in and amongst the guarri trees at the moment. So this area it's really booming at the moment with all sorts of wonderful creatures. We were chatting yesterday about all the little steenbok and duiker that we're seeing around here. Maybe we'll try and find a little steenbok or duiker now. Let me actually keep my eyes open, stop looking just for birds. I have to keep telling myself these things. So you've got to look for other animals as well, Taylor. Right, let's go back across to Ali though and see if she's managing to keep those gremlins away. And I'm sure that the cats will start going to sleep now as the day gets warmer and warmer.
Sorry, we did fight off the gremlins, and it was a tough fight because we were in a drainage line and we had to come a little bit higher up to get some signal, but all sorted now, and we have a beautiful view of Tandy all the way from here. So just as Taylor mentioned, she is starting to become more and more sleepy as the day gets warmer and warmer. However, she's gone into a very strategic spot where it's nice and shady. Perhaps not as shady as that strange spot that Tingana chose, but nonetheless, very good spot. Now, there are lots of marula trees around this area, so I wonder why Tingana didn't think that it would be better for all of us had we decided, why he didn't put it up the tree and making all of our lives a lot easier. No, I'm just being picky now. I think we are very spoiled in this area, and leopards don't always have to put their kills up a tree. As a matter of fact, the area or the spot where he put that warthog is a very good place to hide it from any potential predator. So he'll be able to eat it during the day without really having to worry too much about other scavengers coming into this area. And at night, if there's anything left of the kill, then I think that's when he might try to put it up. Now, Tundi, every now and again, like she did now, she glances on Tingana's direction, who's still very happily sleeping, hugging his kill for the day. Oh, can you hear him? Maybe Tingana has started to maybe munch a little bit. And interesting that they're so close together. I think Sammy Jame, you're wondering how long before they finish their kill. Well, I think it would probably take Tingana a day to finish that warthog piglet that he's got. It's not one of the biggest ones that I've seen, but it's definitely a good meal for him as one male leopard. Now, I am still puzzled because leopards don't normally share kills. It's not something like the lions do, where one will catch something and then the other pride members will come and share it. And I feel that if Tundi were properly coming into heat, likely she would go closer to Tingana and try to incite him into mating, which it seems like she hasn't done all morning. So I am wondering what all of this is out and about. Very interesting. I love it how the leopard world, everything that you read in a textbook, all of a sudden, if you spend enough time out there, there will be someone that will just change things up and spice them up and just make you doubt everything you've ever read before. I think, like I said, we're going to have to just be patient around, and hopefully this afternoon there'll be somewhere where we can see them, just so that we can carry on finding out how this whole scenario is going to play out. For now, seems like both leopards are very sleepy. Seems like it was high activity in the morning. And I mean, how rare is it to see Tingana not at the last minute like we did yesterday? So he has been steadily moving. We found him at Buffelshoek Dam, which is pretty much the most eastern corner of Djuma, and he still had to carry on walking east and south from where he was to get all the way here. So I think he's earned a well-deserved rest after probably patrolling and making a kill. And Tundi, we haven't seen her for the last few days. We have actually all been wondering where she was, because Tumba was pretty much left at Gowrie Dam. So at one point I'm sure she had to go all the way there to fetch Tumba or just be in contact with him, and then excuse me, and then come all the way down here. Now, as the sun starts getting hotter, or starts coming into the apex of its circle around the earth, I think she won't be comfortable where she is now, and she's gonna have to find a bit of a shadier spot. So there are a lot of thick bushes around here where she could easily hide underneath, or perhaps maybe she'll go a bit closer to Tingana in the hopes of getting some of that kill, or if not, and wishfully, hopefully, she would go up a tree. However, I don't see many comfortable trees around here where it might be worth for her. Lots of trees without leaves, like the one that we saw the monkeys in this morning. Beautiful. I got very excited that she came back. Now, I don't hear anything coming from Tingana's direction, so I think he's probably sleeping too. Anna Marie, you're wondering if Tumba would stay at a distance if he sees Tundi and Tingana together. Likely he will, not so much for Tundi, but for Tingana. I don't know, like we said, leopards in this area tend to be slightly more sociable than perhaps in some other areas. So it could very well be, I don't know if Tingana has been seen with Tumba recently, so if any of you guys know the answer for this, just please let me know. But I think Tumba is going to try keeping a healthy distance away from Tingana. Very likely Tingana could recognize him as his offspring and not pay too much attention to him. However, as Tumba starts getting older, then he's going to start becoming competition or potential competition for Tingana, and that's where things might get a little bit tricky. So leopard cubs, or sub-adult leopards, which I think is more appropriate for Tumba, they quickly learn that their best chance is just to kind of stay away from bigger male leopards. Doesn't matter who they are, just to ensure their survival in general. Even if Tumba were to come across Shadow or another fully grown adult leopard, I don't think that the encounter would be all that friendly. I am entirely fascinated by how things have played out with the Tundi, Tumba, Shadow and Cub and Tingana dynamics of the last few weeks. Anna Marie, you're wondering if leopards would also catch and eat bats. Is that correct, Megan? Bats. Well, if they could, or if they manage to grab them, leopards are opportunistic, so they will very likely eat them. However, I don't think they would spend too much time trying to catch the bats unless they found a roosting point for them and try to get them directly from the tree. Likely they would go for more conventional things that they are a bit more skilled at hunting. But you never know, leopards can always surprise you, especially older leopards. They sometimes get quite creative when it comes to finding new food sources. Oh, Tandy, you're so pretty. Sleeping very tightly there. What an interesting morning this has been. Sorry guys, I think somebody's trying to get a hold of me on the radio. Standing by. Standing by. Yeah, the Zingulok is still running. There's Tingana and Tandi. Alright, I think that's going to be it in terms of radio talk. Quite amazing. It seems like Taylor's enjoying the feather friends today, so let's go over to her and see if perhaps she can find us a spotted bird.
Ooh, a spotted bird. What about a spotted thickney? Don't know what else has spots on it. A pearl-spotted owlet. So there's quite a few different birds out there that have got spots on. We're still looking for our next little food party that's moving through this woodland area. But we're on Philemon's cut line now, so I thought what we should also do is, we seem as though we're going this way, and I'd like to pop past Chele Pan, and maybe we can just check that old hyena den just to see if there's any more activity around. I don't think anyone would have been in there just yet. So we'll be able to see if there were any also fresh tracks coming in and out. So that's one of the very many things. And there was an elephant walking here too. But I think it's from that group that Ali had earlier this morning, and these tracks are quite old, maybe from last night. Right. No birds, I can't hear much chirping going on. It was quite nice though to see that red-headed weaver. I haven't seen a red-headed weaver for quite some time. It's actually been a while. And the brew. No babblers. They're in the marula tree now. There they are. Bouncing about, the arrow-marked babblers. Singing their song. They're really striking looking birds. So that orange red eye, and I love the little sort of speckles that they have all over their body. Oh, beautiful birds, especially on their chest. And off they go again, never sticking around for too long. As soon as one flies, they all follow each other onto the next tree. Ah, they're having a territorial dispute with another group of babblers that are just to my right. We can't see them, but I did hear them calling now. So that explains why they're behaving so vocally. You might be able to hear the others calling from the right. There they go again. So every time the intruders, or I don't know, these ones could be the intruders. Perhaps they're taking a chance and encroaching on somebody else's territory. But there are a whole lot in that side as well. Oh, hang on. Is this my chugra that I'm going to show you? Or were you a little robin? Scrub robin of some sort. Let me see if I can find it again. It was just hopping in here. Shh, 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 shh. There it is. It is a chugra. Can you see it just there? It is a brown crown chugra too. Yes! There it is. Yes! No, but you're not a brown crown. You look like the black crown chugra now. It's difficult to see in the shade because they look quite similar. But there we go. The chugra, like I was asking, that was what I was wanting to show you all morning. They're beautiful birds. They're one of my favorites. Can you hear it? What were you alarming at? It was making a strange call. Now it's gone. You can still hear it. It's not happy about something. Perhaps it's shouting back at the babblers saying, stop making such a racket. That's what I would do. I'd tell the babblers to keep quiet all the time. Okay, let's see what else we've got on the menu. Okay, let's concentrate. Let's get to this hyena den before I lose track and digress again. A turtle dove, we won't show you another one of those. Megan, do you know what happened to those elephants? Do you know where they went? There's lots of elephant tracks going in this way. Oh, they crossed off the traverse. So I think all those elephant tracks that we just saw that were coming across the road are from the same group, because they're cutting back going towards Savage's track, which then means that they'll head down towards Treehouse Dam. I thought we would maybe go and try and find them again, but if they've left us, that's alright. We just have to find something else. And what is that something else going to be? Oh, a little Franklin of something, or spurfowl. Valerie, you're wondering if there's any honey badgers. There are definitely around, but they're quite difficult to spot. I've only seen a handful of honey badgers in the north. Where did you go now? There was a little Franklin or spurfowl that ran across the road, but now they're masters of camouflage. Oh, there it is. It's a Koki Franklin too, just in there. Yay! Oh, how great is that? One of the prettiest of the Franklins. And you see it just in there? Beautiful! And this is the male. He's got a bright orange head. So he's quite difficult to see. Maybe he'll pop out into a little open spot. Oh, so that was quite nice. I thought that we were going to... Where are you going? He's coming out. He's just in where those wealth areas are. And he's just about to come out onto the right. So straight in the middle of your screen, you're right on him. Yeah, so if you go in a little bit closer, go down a bit and to the right. He's moving. There he is. You can just see him. He's very camouflaged. You can see the black and white little feathers and then the bright orange head. It's just pecking on the ground. But if it carries on going to the right, that's the female. Female racing over to join its partner. It was using the freeze technique there. Oh, there they go. Just to the right. That's the female. Is it? Yeah. And then the male is just out in the open. There we go. How cool is that? Hello. You're beautiful, aren't you? And now Mac, you said that it's amazing that there's such a color difference between the males and the females. It is. The males are the ones that are typically doing all the work. And some animals, well, not some animals, some birds have got beautiful singing voices and not necessarily the nicest plumage. So they'll use their voices to attract the girls. Whereas others rely on their coloration in order to try and entice the ladies. Some might not have a great combination of either, and then they have to present the females with gifts and all sorts of things. It's hard work out here for the male species. They definitely have to put quite a bit of effort into it. But another nice bird to add to your list. I know we've got lots and lots of new viewers who have recently just started too. So it's great to always hear to what numbers you're on, and I wonder if monotonous Mark is watching. I love that, because I know you're collecting the birds quite quickly. I'm quite surprised you didn't start your list too long ago. Hopefully you've added couple of new ones. But we're right here at the entrance now to the old hyena den. Well, not the old, one of the many hyena dens that they seem to be using. Let's see. Okay, so straight away, it doesn't look like anyone's been in here. I think I was the last one yesterday. No hyena tracks at all. None coming in here, which is not a great sign. Lots of impala footprints, and we know there was a big herd around here. There's actually a couple of impalas scattered out in the long grass. But we'll go in and we'll have a look anyway. You know, we can always be surprised. It's just important to always, of course, approach a potential den site very slowly. You don't want to be making too much noise. And we'll do a full victory lap around. Zebras were here this morning as well. It doesn't look like there's anything. There's a favorite spot that they normally like to lie in just around the corner. We'll see if we can see anything. Nope, the elephants came through here too. They were walking around. some old hyena tracks, I think the same ones that we had yesterday, but no new developments. We're just going around having a little look as you just checking the ground. Nope, pretty much the same hyena tracks that we had yesterday. There's a snake track going across the road there, but I unfortunately half drove over it as I saw it. Yeah. Well, I suppose this is just a good sign though that they're not here, and we have seen all that fresh activity around Gallego Shortcut. And we'll check again this afternoon. Maybe we'll even go back there a third time today. Maybe third time's the charm. But I'm going to send you all the way to Chitwa now, and with Ellie and her spotted friends.
Well, it seems like our spotted friends haven't really been up to much in the last little while. I think Tundi is definitely out and very, very sleepy, and there's been absolutely no movements or sounds coming from where we left in Ghana. So I think overall they have chosen, or if perhaps by accident they got lucky with a very good spot where she is sleeping. There are lots of little hideouts and places where she can go if the sun starts bothering her. But also if her and Tingana do start eating on that kill, the Chitwa Dam is not too far from here, so it would be a good spot for the two of them to go down for a drink of water perhaps later on this afternoon. So it'll be worth it to see what these two beautiful cats do throughout the day, and just keep everyone posted, as in like all the questions that we would like to have answered in terms of their behavior. Oh, Tundi. She looks okay, not too full, but perhaps that's why she's here. Teresa, you're wondering if there's any crossbreeding between leopards and cats. No, not in the wild, and not with wildcats or servals or any other species around here. Sorry, Megan, you're gonna apparently I got the question wrong. Is there crossbreeding with cats? No. Well, I'm not too sure where the question is aiming. Sorry, Teresa. Crossbreeding with these leopards as in inbreeding, or breeding with Tingana and Tundi? So if you're referring to inbreeding and perhaps Tundi mating with one of her offspring at one point, it does happen in lion and leopard populations every now and again, and that's why the young males are pushed away from their area where they were born by the dominant male, which is likely what's going to happen to Tamba if Tingana or Quarantine are still the males roughly around this area where he gets seen. Now, in terms of interbreeding with other species of cats with leopards, as far as I know, it's not reported in the wild. And then crossbreeding, as in Tundi perhaps mating with multiple male leopards while she is, or when her estrus period comes along, then yes, that does happen quite often, and it is known that sometimes leopards can give birth to the same litter. They could be different individuals sired by different males, and it happens as well with lions. So it's a way of confusing all the males around, and just if they go and mate with as many males possible, then the males won't really know if their cubs belong to them or to another male. So if they've mated with that particular female and they bump into that female with a cub, there's a very good chance that they'll recognize that cub as their own and protect it, or they're not actively involved in the raising, but at least protect the territory from other males coming around that might try to take those cubs out. I hope I somewhat managed to answer your question. So it seems like they are going to be here for quite a while, so I think maybe what we're going to do in the next few minutes or so, if they don't get up and start moving, we're going to leave them, because I don't think this is going to change all too much in the next few hours or so, and we'll definitely come and check sometime this afternoon, see if perhaps they stick around. I know it'll be quite interesting, and like I said, the dam is roughly in that direction. We have been hearing the guinea fowl and of course the Egyptian geese and the hippos every now and again laughing, and I believe Taylor did the most splendid hippo imitation yesterday. So maybe we should ask her. I'm going to ask her to do it again in camp and see what she got up to. But they've got a very good spot. Lots of hideouts. Food is over there. Water's over there. So I think this is a happy place for a leopard. Why would you even try to go anywhere else? Maybe just when the sun starts annoying us too much. Lauren from Illinois, you're wondering if leopards would ever eat eggs, even ostrich eggs. Well, I don't doubt that they would. They are opportunistic animals, so if they manage to find anything that would be useful for them to eat or that had protein, I reckon they would. However, it's not common practice amongst leopards to eat eggs. That's more common for reptiles to do. So given the opportunity, very likely they would try their luck, but I think they would just pretty much leave it and wait for the eggs to hatch and then go for the little ones. That would be more the leopard way of doing things, even with tiny little ostriches. We don't really get ostriches around this area, but if we were to carry on going east in that direction, we would get to the Kruger National Park, and around the Sataria area we often see ostriches, but not too many of them around here. I think it's a bit thick and too many of these beautiful cats just lurking around, and ostriches can be very easily hunted by lions, and cheetahs also do. I think maybe a young ostrich would be fine for a leopard, but an older ostrich, I think that would be a bit too optimistic. Although, who knows, Tingana is quite a surprising individual, so that'll be quite interesting. Tingana versus the ostrich. Huh. Okay. Seems like Taylor's still trying to figure out the hyena mystery, so let's go over to her and see if she's found any more tracks leading to solve this case.
No more tracks, but I can hear another food party here. And I can hear a black-back puffback. Where are you? And I can just hear it going. There's a bird that's just flown in here, in that quarry that's just to the right of us. I'm going to see.
Is quarry there?
I think, no, a little bit more to the right. Let me just see. Yeah, okay, go in. If you go in there, go up a bit. Go up. So let's see, up a little bit more. There we go. Go straight in now. And then to the left. What is that? Can you see it?
Got it, yeah.
Is it a dove? It's hard to tell what that one is. It's sneaky. Are you an emerald spotted wood dove? I think it might be. It's very difficult to see from here, but it just even the way that it's positioned. Yes, it is an emerald spotted wood dove. I can just see the little spots on its wings now, and that's also very typical of a wood dove to sit like that, is in the low-lying branches. Let's see where they get their name from. Right, where else? Where's this puffback? They'll typically call on the tops of trees. You can hear it. Who else is bouncing about here? There's definitely an entire food party.
What's that there?
What have we got? That looks like a prinia. Are you a little tawny flank prinia? Seems like it, but I could be mistaken. I'm terrible with my little LBJ, so you might just have to help me out here. I'm not even going to try and pretend like I know what all these little birds are. It's absolutely impossible. Like I said, I'm still learning myself, so you can hashtag Safari Live. Otherwise, I'll just have to look in my bird app. But just from here, it does look like one. Hello, little one. What else have we got? Bouncing out. There's someone calling this side. Let me see if I can spot any movement amongst the leaves. Sebastian, you're very good at spotting birds, I must say. Much better than I am. I think that's all for now. Everything's just out of view. The oxpeckers are going crazy down in the drainage line, so I wonder what's down here.
Isn't that them?
Oh no, they're flying, and they're not. They're actually flying in the sky. Oh, they must be looking for a target.
But, no, I won't get there, Mr.
No.
Senna.
That shot actually makes me laugh. That makes me think that we need to add one of those typical desert eagle sounds. You know, in American movies, how you hear that eagle call, where you see the glare of the sunlight. That's what that reminds me of. Right, let's go forward. Let's see if we can find any more birds up ahead. They've all moved on now. There were quite a few oxpeckers around here. Oh, impala. Maybe we'll see some oxpeckers on the impala. We'll investigate now. This is where the Wahlbergs like to nest, but they're not here yet. They're still... Ah, Nev, you did say that it was a tawny flank prinia. Thank you. It looked like one, but I wasn't 100% certain. And the testiculars and the prinias, they all look so similar at times. Like I said, I'm a bit rusty. I'm going to have to go over my LBJs today, so we can focus for this afternoon. Hello, Impala. Any oxpeckers on you? No? That's disappointing. Oh, sorry, they got a little bit of a fright as I shuffled my foot on the ground. They didn't like that noise. There they come. Can hear the oxpeckers. Come on, land. There's one above us. Come on, land down on the impala, please. He's circling. Stop pretending you're a vulture. You're not a vulture. Choose your animal. Not impressed by the impala. You can hear it just above us. Or are you calling your friends? Perhaps it's looking for something slightly larger like a buffalo or maybe a kudu that's going to have a few more parasites on it. Now just having a quick groom on one of the youngsters. And it's hot now. Now that we sit here in the sun, I'm going to have to take my scarf off and my jersey and put shorts on. It's just amazing how the temperatures change like that. And I'm sure the impala are appreciating it, as well as the birds and the squirrels and the monkeys and all the other things that were freezing. Oh, well, the temperatures come up quite a bit now. We started off at 54 degrees Fahrenheit. It's now at 64 Fahrenheit. So we're getting there. But I think we'll have a hot day. It will end up in the high 70s for this afternoon. Hello, boys. They all look like they're ready for a snooze now, don't you think? Now that they've groomed themselves, their coats are all looking lovely and slick now and shiny. They might do that. They might graze a little bit more, browse a bit, and then sit down and have a bit of a siesta. Well, that's what I'm planning on doing. I think I'm going to do a bit of reading, and I think I need a siesta after the hyenas kept me up all night and the night before. Well, the night before there was more commotion. I can't just blame the hyenas because the lions and the leopards were also making a huge noise around camp. But beautiful. Right, let's venture on a little bit further. Let's see what else we can find. Maybe we get one or two more birds. Lots of hyena tracks around here, a couple of monkey tracks. Elephants came through here. This is obviously the herd of elephants that destroyed the gardens around Ingas. I can imagine. Sebastian said there was lots of elephant activity around where he's staying. And I think the same herd that Ali had at Treehouse Dam. Maybe a crested barbet to end the show. Check in some of these greener trees. A woodpecker, that would be nice. Nothing in this jackalberry. Are there any fruits on this jackalberry? No, nothing. Aw, well, that's a bit disappointing. I'm searching the tops of this jackalberry for fruit, but nothing developing here. Anyways, it's been wonderful though doing all the birding with you, but I'm going to send you across to Ali now for the final minutes of the show.
And final bits of the show with this beautiful male nyalas that have been eating. I think they're looking to find some of the fruit of the torchwood tree, which is the tree that's there in the middle in between the two of them. Now, not often will they eat this fruit, but I'm sure elephants have been coming around and shaking the tree and eating the fruit, and it almost seems like the nyala is looking for some of the undigested seeds in the elephant dung. Perhaps hasn't found anything and it's moving across. I think it's been a very exciting morning today. It's been pretty much non-stop trying to figure out where the hyenas have been going, and then of course Taylor found those beautiful Nkahuma cubs and the females moving, and apparently there was a bit of blood, so there's hope that they have been eating something. And of course the Ellies have returned to Djuma. Nice big herd that we had this morning, and how can we forget, the last minute leopard that provided us with a very good last hour. I hope that he doesn't take it that now he can just disappear for the next little while. And of course seeing Thandi. That was the bonus of my morning, because I hadn't met her. So very good to know that she's been around. Now, I'm sure they'll stick around for the rest of the afternoon, and who knows what'll play out. Maybe we'll have a lot more elephants. Thandi and Tingana will be there, but I just think it's been an incredible morning. What a great way to start the week. I don't think we could have asked for anything else other than everything that happened today. Whew. All right, lots of exciting morning. I think today Taylor and I have earned our bacon, so yay, let's go see what yummy food we've got from Amanda today, and we'll see everyone on the Sunset Safari today.